All right, it looks like the results are not yet in for Snow White's box office, but if ticket purchases are anything to go off of so far, it is not looking good. I just purchased our tickets to see the earliest possible screening of this movie together.
And I wept.
We are going to suffer through it. I insisted, and we're going to review it for you guys. But I just took a look, it had a completely empty theater. Yeah. We had our pick of whatever seats we wanted because nobody else has reserved a seat at our theater. That is actually what most people are seeing now that they're looking at tickets online. Almost all of these theaters are completely empty. No one is seated to see this movie yet.
So one thing you guys don't know is, like, oftentimes when we would go review movies, Olivia would come with us. And I asked her today, I was like, look, I know you're working, but is it possible maybe do you want to switch shifts to another day and come with us? And there was just a little bit of glee in her voice when she realized that she didn't have to go see Snow White. It
could be a really bonding experience for you.
I mean, so when she first...
Guys, if you're trying to put your relationship to the test, go see Snow White together.
The first thing that we saw together...
See if you can suffer together.
The first thing we saw together was the Mean Girls musical, and she'll never forgive me for that.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah. She'll never forgive me for that.
Does she like the...
She likes the original. Like, she still brings that up sometimes. She's like, remember when I came out here and the first thing we went and saw was the Mean Girl musical? I'm like, yeah, sorry about that.
Well, that was also my fault. But, I mean, it was worth it for the rage bait, you know? I'm glad that we did that.
It's okay.
But Chrissy Mayer posted a screenshot of her local theater, completely empty so far. She said, Saturday night, a 7:30 p.m. showing, 0 tickets sold. Snow White is dead on arrival. And then it was followed up by other people starting this trend and seeing the same exact thing. No seats reserved at any of these Friday night showings.
No, so most of these are Thursday nights that they're checking.
Well, to be fair to Chrissy Mayer, that was a Saturday night one.
But the rest of the ones we have here, they were checking the Thursday night showings. Now, look.
But even for an early screening on a Thursday night, you should at least see maybe half.
Yeah.
Or even one person has reserved, like no one. I swear, I looked at a completely empty theater.
So the other day when I did that whole debacle where I got the tickets for Black Bag, I refunded them, and then I got the tickets for Novocaine and I refunded them. I went back to look at the tickets for Black Bag again because we were going to go tonight and try to use vouchers.
Yeah.
Still no seats.
Really?
Sold. The same 2 that were sold in the middle of the theater were the only ones that were sold there.
Because usually if you're using a credit, you're going to get the last seats available, which means they're going to suck.
Yeah.
But most of these theaters are completely empty. It's crickets.
Bro, I will eat the cost rather than sit
you walk in to see Snow White. You're not even early, and they're like tumbleweeds passing by inside the theater.
I'm picturing like did you ever see like the Santa Claus, where the original Santa Claus with Tim Allen, and they're at like a Denny's on Thanksgiving, and it's really sad, and the kid's like, can I have some chocolate milk? And she's like, we're out. And she's like, regular milk's fine. Like, that's gonna be the attitude of all the people that end up going to see it. There's gonna be like sad children with in their Snow White outfits with their wand, and they're gonna be like, oh, fine. Look, there's a lot of news surrounding this movie. We're going to get into more of it later in the week because what Disney is doing right now is they're going into overdrive, trying to pretend like all the stuff that was said at the start of 2022 never happened. One of the things I find interesting is that it kind of brings 2 of my beliefs about this industry into question, which is 1, are people terminally online and what actors say matters? Or 2, are they not terminally online and nobody cares what actors say anyways? Because we go back and forth about this. Like, do I really believe that the average everyday person who's going to go see a movie cares whether Rachel Zegler said stuff about the original So White? No,
That's not why this is happening.
Why do you think it's happening?
Rachel Zegler being annoying is not the reason why Snow White showings are failing to sell tickets. They're failing to sell tickets because Disney is failing and no one cares about this in a positive way. The only people who care about Snow White are the ones who care about hating it. They haven't worked to cultivate any positive goodwill around this movie when they had the chance to, and now it is too late.
It's so weird. It's
she didn't do them any favors, that's for certain, but her takes didn't need to tank this, and I don't think that Rachel Zegler's viral clips have anything to do with the fact that people aren't buying tickets. It's not a mass boycott. It's an apathy that we're seeing. It's not a negative thing that people are thinking about. Like, I was going to go see Snow White, but now I'm boycotting it because Rachel Zegler said this and that. It's not a boycott. It's just that no one cares.
There was Disney has an issue with consistency right now that's going to continue to plague them. So when Captain America Brave New World came out, theoretically, I say theoretically, they should have been operating with the goodwill that was built up from Deadpool and Wolverine, and it brought it crashing to a halt. I read an article today that said if you think Disney shills are bad, Marvel Disney shills are even worse. It said Brave New World passes Black Widow as the 31st highest grossing Marvel movie of all time, 31 of 35. But the point is like, they should build momentum with multiple good movies at a time. They just had billion-dollar movies with Moana 2 and Inside Out. And now, theoretically, there should be more goodwill going into these films. But because Captain America Brave New World was another one that was stuck in production hell for ages, Snow White is a movie that was stuck in production hell for ages. Now, the strike had a lot to do with that as well. They're not going to benefit much if they can't have like consistent hits in a row. Like Mufasa had a weak opening, but went on to gross, what was it, over $700 million? Theoretically, this movie should have an audience there, but it does not look, opening weekend projections don't indicate that. These graphs from these people don't indicate that, and it proves to you just how tenuous. They might not have even realized how lucky they were to be getting hit after hit after hit after hit after hit for years on end. Like the Marvel formula being what it was, that golden area they were in between phase 2 and phase 3, where every movie made nearly $1 billion. That's not going to be the reality of the world anymore. And it wasn't just Chrissy Mayer. Mexican Iron Man also posted his, and that looks like 3 screenings that he put up here, none of which have anything available there.
All on Thursday, to be fair.
And
but then
same with Overlord DVD. His was for Thursday as well. And then this one here was from, he reposted it. It says, I've never in my life seen anything like this. Snow White opening Saturday, IMAX, prime time for families, is one of the busiest movie theaters in the entire DC metro area. I go to this theater all the time. I've literally never seen anything like this. It's completely empty.
It's like gigantic IMAX showing.
Remember, there was a time where people believed that during, Captain Marvel's run, that they thought that Disney was buying tickets because people were going in. It made $1 billion, but they were looking in on screenings and there was nobody there. I don't know about that, but I do know that if I was Disney, I would bake it into the marketing budget to just start buying tickets to at least the big city ones. Or actually, no, the rural ones where there's less people likely to go anyways, and leave the big city ones just in case people actually go. Because I feel like you'd have a better time getting people in the city to go see this than people outside of the city.
Well, haven't they done that already?
Bought tickets?
In the past?
Oh, I mean, I don't know if that can be proven. Like,
they were accused of doing that in the instance of which movie?
Well, Captain Marvel.
Was it Captain Marvel only, or were there other examples?
I don't remember. Somebody in the chat might remember if there were others. The other thing about it is
They've
like, what was it? Like, I remember Brie Larson, like, sent a link to a GoFundMe that was like to buy tickets to go see her movie. And then people were mad at her because they're like, why couldn't
Was she doing that as some kind of meta joke?
No, I think it was just like trying to get the word out there about it, but it looks bad because she could just like...
What?
Like she could just donate money to the GoFundMe, but she like shared the link instead.
Oh, it was somebody else?
Yes, it was another GoFundMe. It wasn't her GoFundMe. It was somebody else's GoFundMe.
Somebody started a GoFundMe.
Does anybody remember that?
Wait, I'm sorry. Someone started a GoFundMe to afford tickets to see Captain Marvel?
It was like for a group, to get tickets for a whole group. Let me see if I can find stuff about that. Captain Marvel.
So all you would need in that year would be like $100? You're telling me they started a GoFundMe with a goal of like $100?
Brie Larson, hold on, here it is. Brie Larson, the star of Captain Marvel, inspired a successful GoFundMe campaign called #CaptainMarvelChallenge to raise money and send girls to see the movie.
What?
Yes.
To what? Donate tickets? To donate them?
So, I'm pulling it up here. It says, Brie Larson sparks a GoFundMe campaign to help girls see Captain Marvel because girls need help. Mary. Girls can't afford movie tickets. On Twitter, a clearly cool teacher told Brie Larson that she had showed the Captain Marvel trailer to her students and created a classroom full of young female fans. Larson responded by writing that she thought a Captain Marvel challenge was in order. The hashtag-driven campaign stemmed from a GoFundMe campaign drive featured last year from Frederick Joseph that ended up raising $50,000 to send kids to see Black Panther at the movie theater. So this was like their version of that. The Black Panther Challenge in turn sparked a global movement that raised nearly $1 million to send tens of thousands of kids all around the world to Wakanda for the comfort of their theater seat. So maybe what we need to do right now, guys, if you do like Rachel Zegler and you want to see Rachel Zegler get Snow White 2 Electric Boogaloo, they'll make it. They made Mufasa, right? If you want to see the Snow White sequel, what you're going to have to do is hashtag Rachel Zegler challenge, and you're going to have to start a GoFundMe to send kids to see Snow White.
Yeah. Yikes! I had no idea. I love
this.
Happened.
This is nice to me because these are controversies from before I YouTubed. So these were like when I was watching YouTube. So it's like a weird throwback.
That's so embarrassing.
It's the hashtag Snow White challenge.
Brie Larson was posting that as if she's some kind of philanthropist.
Yes.
Like having young girls watch Captain Marvel is going to change their lives.
Of course. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what they said about Black Panther. It's going to change your lives.
Wow. And I know that when little girls watch Rachel Zegler as Snow White, they're going to realize that love is meaningless and that no man is ever going to save them. And that's actually an uplifting message.
Yes, I'm with a word on the word. Go fund the Gongo. Yes.
I'd rather fund the Gongo than the Captain Marvel project.
Okay.
Rachel Zegler told everyone how meaningful it is to play Snow White.
Yes. So do you want to show the photo bomb?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go, guys.
3, 2, 1.
Snow White!
Hi, guys! How are you? I like your shirt. Can I see? How beautiful. Is that me?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Look at you. You look so beautiful. Hi, honey. Do you want to come say hi? Hi. Can I have a hug? Oh, thank you so much.
So you said that that's awkward. Is that really that bad?
No. I rewatched it.
You said it was pretty bad.
It's fine. I was only half watching it the first time. I was a victim of my own not paying attention. It was fine.
And then at one of the allegedly empty screenings, she gave her speech.
You have to like check your own bias at the door, where it's like I'm already rolling my eyes.
I'm just against the fact that she's wearing a pantsuit.
Yes.
She's literally a Disney princess, and they put her in a pantsuit.
She's auditioning to play a villain next.
No, she's auditioning to play like AOC. Why would you put a Disney princess in a pantsuit at a promotional event?
That's a good point.
Why would you do that?
All right, here we go.
Hey guys, thank you so much for being here. This is a movie that is so close to my heart. I auditioned for this movie when I was 19 years old, and I am about to turn 24. So it's a really big chunk of my life, and about 5 out of the 7 years of my career, which is crazy. I love everybody in this movie so dearly. Coming to the end of this road of the release feels really crazy, because when you spend so much time with something, it becomes such a big part of you.
But there was like such a big gap between when it was initially filmed and then the strike, and then
I know, and I would be mad about it if I were her.
That way for me, and to see this is really emotional for me, so I'm going to try to not do that. I love her, and I'm so glad to see that so many of you love her as well. Her superpower is her heart. It's nothing supernatural. It's something that all of us have. And deep within us, there is a...
By the power of friendship,
inherent good and a belief in the kindness of humanity. I hope that you walk away.
Actually, right there, if you want to wonder why artists in the mainstream space tend to clash with conservative types, there's actually kind of an answer to it there about the idea of inherent good versus a pragmatic view of the world and self-interest that I actually have a hard time usually putting to words as to why actors and people in the conservative space, because there's a lot of discussions about why conservatives don't invest more in art. And I think a lot of it has to do with just vastly different worldviews. And right here, I think kind of speaks to that, how she sees the world. Whether she actually believes what she's saying, I don't know.
Film, understanding what the true meaning of fair is. I really, really hope that for the world as well. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your Snow White. It means the world to me. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy Snow White. Thank you guys.
You know what they're like? They're like, can we get Ariana Grande? She cries.
Yeah.
They're like, what we need is Ariana Grande.
You know,
actually, they should have just gotten Ariana Grande to play Snow White.
No, they should not.
They should have just done that.
That would be a terrible idea.
They should have just gotten Ariana Grande.
She looks disturbing.
I mean, she probably didn't look like that when this movie was filmed, though.
Yeah, she looked like a different race when this movie was being filmed.
Yeah, but that was like
we would have Snow White even browner. Actually, we'd have self tan instead of Snow White.
Yeah. Thoughts
on this?
Yes. I didn't really think of it as fake with her with the kids. I just thought it was like maybe I don't know how much time she spends around kids and she just doesn't know how to behave.
You know, they should have just sent Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler on a Wicked-esque press tour where they were fondling each other and crying.
I mean, they would have to like each other to do that.
That would have at least gotten the theater kids to show up for this movie.
Say what you want.
That would have at least gotten the musical theater freaks to show up. Not because this obviously doesn't really appeal to kids these days.
Say what you want about
like Gen Alpha doesn't care about Snow White.
Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. At least they did seem to like each other.
Maybe a little too much.
A little bit too much.
But I'm just saying, put your acting skills to the test.
I mean, I don't know.
If you cannot get children to care about this movie, get adult theater freaks to like it.
Yeah. What was the last?
That's your next best bet.
What was the last movie that kids really was Inside Out 2? The last movie
was
that
a big
kids,
one.
But was that kids or was that adults who grew up with the first one or liked the first one?
There are
both.
no.
It was families
because the first Inside Out came out in
9 years,
like 2014,
before.
right?
Yeah.
So that doesn't even really translate the same way.
Yeah. Well, guys, we'll have to wait and see. We will give you our unbiased review on. I guess are we gonna do it live or are we just gonna record it beforehand and then post it?
We'll review it on Friday.
I'm saying, but are we gonna do it on the show?
Yeah, we should.
Okay. All right.
I mean, everybody in the chat is telling us, like, we're not seeing this movie. I don't think you really care whether we spoil it for you. And the story is a fake version of the story anyway.
All right.
So there's nothing to be spoiled.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.